जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Good morning, dear devotees. So we are continuing to read the Nectarean Ocean of the Holy Name by His Holiness Sachinandana Swami Maharaj. And now we are in the section of some of the practices that we can implement in our daily practice to improve our chanting. So one is practicing chanting the Panchatattva Mahamantra. The first practical tip is to chant the following mantra before chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. The Panchatattva Mahamantra is greatly beneficial because the holy names of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Shri Gadadhar Pandit, Shri Srivas Thakur, and all the other devotees of the Lord immediately purify and spiritually elevate the chanter. This mantra blesses one with the ability to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses. For Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most generous incarnation of God, Mahavadanyaya Avatar. He does not consider the offenses committed by a fallen soul. By chanting his name, one receives the full benefit of chanting the Mahamantra. When Lord Chaitanya was spreading the holy name in Navadvip by chanting and dancing, he came to the quarters of some drunkards. Through his mercy, even the drunkards staggering out of the bars began to chant the holy name. Lord Chaitanya is so special because he shows his mercy to the most fallen. He blesses them with the ability to start spiritual life, especially by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, we chant the Panchatattva Mahamantra before we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is even said that in Kali Yuga, where so many offenses are committed, Panchatattva Mahamantra is more important than the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then why, one may wonder, don't we give up the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra altogether and chant only the Panchatattva Mahamantra? The answer is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed us through his personal example to chant Hare Krishna, and we simply follow his order. Chanting everywhere. The question where and when to chant Hare Krishna is answered by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna consciousness is called Sanatana Dharma or Bhagavad Dharma. Sanatana means eternal, always and everywhere. Bhagavad means pertaining to Bhagavan, the Lord. The Lord is the master of all time and all space, and therefore the Lord's holy name must be heard, glorified, and remembered everywhere in the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity so eagerly awaited by the people of the world. Srimad Bhagavatam 2:36. In other words, because Krishna is present everywhere, one should glorify him at every place and at all times. If somehow or other one meets a great personality like Srila Prabhupada, one immediately and naturally offers prostrated obeisances and glorifies him. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. One does not simply continue with this activity, thereby ignoring Srila Prabhupada. This would be an utterly improper behavior towards such a great personality. Now, since Krishna is present everywhere, one is always together with him at any place and time, and thus one should constantly chant his glory. Therefore, the devotee always remembers Krishna and chants his holy name. As Lord Chaitanya spoke out, regardless of time or place, one who chants the holy name even while eating or sleeping attains all perfection. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 20.18. Srila Prabhupada demonstrated by his personal example how Krishna can be glorified on all occasions. One who can constantly chant the holy name will never fall into material consciousness. Just imagine to simply chant continuously no matter where you are. I know it is very difficult, but you should try. If not loud, then in your mind, and you will see how your life changes. Of course, we should not chant while talking to someone, or if by chanting we shock or annoy others. But we should, I think, Prabhu, you're not on mute. But we should simply chant Hare Krishna as soon as there is free time. While going to the car, if you scroll down, Prabhu. No. While starting the car, while driving on the highway, while taking a shower, or while accepting prasadam, whether in the underground, at home, or in the office, we should always chant. There are no strict rules and regulations how to remember the holy name. We only have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 24 hours a day. This is the instruction of Srila Prabhupada and Haridas Thakur. Then one is never in material consciousness and spares about 100% of his difficulties. Of course, we should preferably chant at a place free from distractions and disturbances. The advice to chant everywhere does not mean to chant one's rounds in the brahmachari ashram or in the prajalpa lounge at the temple, where the inattentive chanters gather. Let's continue chanting at all times. One day, Vallabh Bhatt said to Advaita Acharya, every living entity is female, Prakriti, and considers Krishna as her husband, Pati. It is the duty of a chaste wife, devoted to her husband, not to utter her husband's name. But all of you chant the name of Krishna. How can this be called a religious principle? Advaita Acharya responded, before you is Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the personification of religious principles. You should ask him, or he will give you the proper answer. Hearing this, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Vallabha Bhatta, you do not know religious principles. Actually, the first duty of a chaste woman is to carry out the order of her husband. The order of Krishna is to chant his name incessantly. Therefore, one who is chaste and adherent to the husband Krishna must chant the Lord's name, for she cannot deny the husband's order. Following this religious principle, a pure devotee of Lord Krishna always chants the holy name. As a result of this, he gets the fruit of ecstatic love for Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 7, 103 to 108. So let's, till now what we read is really emphasis on first, always starting with the Panchatattva Mahamantra, because when we call out to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Pandit. So basically what happens is we are getting their mercy, right? Their mercy is coming and we are under their protection. They are protecting us from committing offenses against the holy name. That's the whole point when we do that. So we are really calling out to them before we start our chanting. And then the second important point that we just saw is the importance of chanting at all the time. Now, this is a practice I think we need to cultivate, right? Because all the time, if you're chanting, all the time, if you're just silently chanting in your mind, you may not be always able to really say it out loud, right? Like if you're in your office and Maharaj did specify that if you're talking to someone or all that, you cannot do that naturally. But then anytime if you're not doing that, it's just a habit that we can form where in your mind or silently just, you're just constantly chanting the holy name. So with that, what will happen is there will be constant remembrance with that continuous practice. And then ultimately, we all know, right? This whole lifetime of preparation is really for the last moment. So if we had this habit cultivated, then at the time of death, it's going to naturally just come to us. It's not going to be like an extra effort to remember the holy name. It's going to be continuously singing. The holy name is always, Krishna is constantly going to be dancing on the tongue. So that is something we have to intentionally cultivate. And that's the recommendation that is being given by Maharaj here. Very beautiful explanation.